It's me for a very last, but hopefully short video on gemeinsam. This adjective came up in a sentence that we covered last Monday, and I wanted to review it, and I'll also send a message about this right before class so you can have a chance to look at this. Übungssatz 13, the one that we were working on as a class, has in der gemeinsamen Microwelle in it. Here's the sentence. Es riecht hier in der Küche wieder nach Fisch. Hat jemand seine Überreste in der gemeinsamen Mikrowelle aufgewärmt? Das ist zum Kotzen. What happens here is that communal or common, both English words, communal and common, work well as definitions for gemeinsam. It's used in the dative case in addition. I wanted to throw that out there so that since we didn't say that on Monday, but I was very struck when someone said gemein and sam together look like the same as mine. And actually, I remember how I reacted there. I thought, this is a learning moment. Let's look at this as we see other words that are using the same root. And I will say at the end something about the suffix, which is sam. So hang on for that, because it's important. But before that, this is mine meaning my, or gemein meaning common. Both look similar, but they're very different, obviously. One's a possessive adjective and the other's an adjective. Meiner Meinung nach is in my opinion. For example, in my opinion, life in the city is better than life in the country. Meiner Meinung nach ist das Stadtleben besser als das Leben auf dem Lande. The next word is Mein Kampf, the title of Hitler's autobiography, My Struggle, from the verb kämpfen. You may know forget-me-nots as a flower, but in German this is poetic, from using also mein in its root, but it happens to be capitalized. It means forget-me-not, and das Meinheit is cursory. Variations now of gemein, the second word. Gemein starts out with our word for today, gemeinsam. Look at all those definitions. We might have another example sentence, and we do. Das Zimmer im Bed and Breakfast hat ein gemeinsames Bad. The room in the B&B has a shared bathroom. This is an important word, die Gemeinde. Die Gemeinde is often a parish or church. It refers not only to the place, but mostly to the people, the gathering of a group of individuals, a community. Die Gemeinschaft is another word for community. The example for that is political union, namely the European community, die Europäische Gemeinschaft. Other variations are this word, gemeiner, which has a feminine counterpart, eine gemeine, a commoner, or lay person. Adjectives such as allgemein are very common. It means general. Allgemein is very common in German. The general sense can be used adjectival. However, its most common form is adverbial with im. So you see often im Allgemeinen to say generally speaking or generally harder. Deutsch ist im Allgemeinen schwieriger zu lernen als Italienisch, right? German is generally harder to learn than Italian. Here, schwierig is used as a comparative with no adjective ending. Don't get stuck there thinking that ER is an adjective ending, because it is not. Last but not least, that suffix sam for gemeinsam actually does not mean same. It is interesting that it could trick one to think that, actually, by just looking at it, and here is why. A handful of adjectives and adverbs do take suffixes, and I'm giving you a list of just a few here for sam. Gleichsam, which is listed here, or behutsam, which can be used both as to be a cautious individual or a cautious move, and then cautiously warned someone. So you see there are the two ways that can be used, adverbially and adjectival. Other suffixes that we may or may not have seen before are bar, fach, haftlos, reichsam, and there is at least another half dozen suffixes that function like sam. I just wanted you to know why Zam is in that word and have you expand a little bit your knowledge on suffixes. That's all for now. Vielen Dank für eure Aufmerksamkeit. And I'll see you in class, this time in person. I thought this was a good idea following Monday's session because as we were going through these sentences, the notion that gemeinsam sounds like same as mine came up, and I said that's when I can actually learn, but it was really the mine in the root of that word that struck me. Zam isn't really same. Zam is a suffix for an adjective such as behutsam, which means cautious, and it can be used adverbially as well. So keep in mind that gemein as common, and making an adjective or adverb out of that is how gemeinsam appears in that sentence. It does happen to be an adjective, the common microwave. That's it. Great. Thanks, everyone, for your helping me as I try to help you. And we're on to exam review and final presentations. See you Monday.